Welcome to EMERJ TV, the podcast where the industry's most talented video and film professionals share their stories. From the directors and cinematographers to the editors, voice artists, and on-camera talent. Each episode hosted by Reginald Smith as he sits down for free-flowing conversations about how they got their start, who inspired them, and what it's really like working in production. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some behind-the-scenes conversation about production. This is EMERJ TV. EMERJ
TV. Welcome back, everybody. This is part 2 of my conversation with Mark Stacy. And if you watched the previous conversation, you know he's done a lot. I've done a lot too, but he's done a lot. Well, I won't say more. It's just different.
Different stuff.
But, we were talking about the TV3 days.
Yeah.
And we worked in a truck. It was industrial video. So there was no consumer, industrial, and broadcast. No,
there was some broadcast.
We did industrial and broadcast.
Right. Yes.
But Bob was telling me, Lewandowski was telling me that we were all green, and when I came, I was like, these guys are professionals, as far as I was concerned.
Right, but we didn't know anything. We seat of our pants.
So if you knew the seat of your pants, I didn't have pants.
You didn't have a seat.
Because 3 months, I got a job. Doing live audio for it was a TV religious station, but I was mixing, and they had interviews, and I did it live, just pretty much off the street.
Yeah.
The reason I got the job was because I had taken some photography classes.
Okay.
And I knew how to take pictures. Never took one picture. So then when I got to TV3, my thing was, you, as far as I was concerned, you all were seasoned veterans.
Right. Well, we were all we weren't very seasoned, but we knew a little bit more than you at the time. But you picked it up. I mean, we all picked it up quick. We would watch TV at home. I remember, I had said in the earlier show, my first show was at Allen Park High School as center field camera, and I had at least seen enough Tiger broadcasts or an NBC Saturday afternoon baseball to know what center field was supposed to look like, or something close to it.
And that's interesting because you did the same thing I did, and I think a lot of people on their crew did the same thing. You watched the pros, like Louis was telling me, him, Ken, and Jim, they would sit and dissect the Tiger games.
Sure. And
so then what did we do? We emulated that.
Right. We tried our best.
And, I don't know whether they had any complaints, but I never heard anybody complain about our coverage.
Well, we were doing 3 and 4 camera baseball, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish we had some of those old tapes I'd like to look at. I'm sure they're around somewhere.
I remember the only thing we were missing was slow-mo.
Right. Well, we just slow it down a little bit.
It's like, put it in search mode. Just turn the volume down.
I know, that was...
So
that's all right. We still did replays. We
did replays.
Yeah, they were real time, but they were replays.
I remember we did basketball. And David and I got to the point. I had gotten to the point where I'd follow the ball, and when they would shoot, I would zoom into the ball to this tight side of the ball, go in the basket, and zoom back out, and then swing back around for the hero shot to get the guy to make the basket.
They still do that. It's just a little easier to do it now.
Yeah. But so I'm curious. So you've done Olympics, you've done NBA. Well, first of all, you've done all professional sports, but then you've done.
Well, no, I've never done a monster truck show.
Well, that's not. Well, it is professional sports, but I'm talking about football, baseball, basketball, and hockey.
I've done. I've been very fortunate to have done a lot. I've done 10 or 12 Olympics, several Super Bowls, few World Series.
Okay, so now let's go back. So first of all, tell me how you got the Olympics.
Well, quite honestly, I did have an in for my first Olympics. I had a cousin who knew the executive producer, and that was Calgary in 1984.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got in. I mean, I had been doing some sports at that point, and they took a chance on me, and I ended up doing hockey and short track speed skating.
Okay. Yeah.
And we didn't get a lot of coverage. Not a lot of people were watching. But,
Yeah.
That's how I got it, and then I guess I was good enough.
So then, what did you do when you weren't? So when they weren't covering hockey or whatever, you just kind of sat around and wait for them.
We did a lot of hockey.
To come? Oh, really? Okay.
We were.
I guess so. You did.
Yeah, between because there was the Saddle Dome in Calgary, and when there wasn't hockey, there was the speed skating.
Oh, okay.
And that was the first year they had done this short track speed skate, which is a crazy sport. It's like 8 guys on the ice all at once, trying to just beat up each other and going as fast as they can.
And then one guy falls, then he takes out 3 of the guys that's
pretty
above
much,
him.
yeah. So that's how I got that, and then they asked me to go do Seoul, Korea.
Yeah.
In the summer, and after that, it just kind of kept happening.
And so then they just knew you.
They knew me at that point. Yeah, I mean, it's all about getting known.
Yeah. And then the Super Bowl. So what about the Super Bowl?
Well, the first one, I had started working with CBS. I had kind of pushed my way into getting some shows with CBS. So I would do the local Lions games. And one time, the big show with Madden and Summerall that Sandy Grossman was directing came in, and he actually liked my work. So he started asking for me on some other shows. And then they asked me to do some of the playoff games. And then CBS lost football. It's like, oh, man. And then in the summer, I was actually on vacation in the Cayman Islands. And you know how you call your phone back then, and you have to hit the little call your answering machine? And I got a call from a guy who had been at CBS, was now working at Fox. And he said, hey, you want to do this Fox? We've got the new season of Fox. You want to come and work for us? Everybody's moving over, and we'd like to have you as part of our crew. What I didn't realize was it was going to be the first time they used a slash camera in football. And one of the reasons they called me, now I had some talent, but first game was going to be in San Francisco, and they were going to put me at the top of the stadium. And the way the roof was in San Francisco, if you were over like about 5'7", you were going to hit your head.
Really?
So they put me there. And it worked.
Yeah.
And so I became part of that crew. And then we got Super Bowls, and and then I just kept going. I did that Fox crew for about 12 years. And then I did some Monday Night Football. And then when Monday Night Football, all the production people changed over to Sunday night 21 years ago. Yeah. That sort of worked out too. The funniest thing was the first Super Bowl I worked, we were in Miami, and our director lived in Boca. So he had a party for us, and Madden was there. And I'll never forget, so we went to his house. He had a pool, to Sandy Grossman's house.
Wow.
And there was a screened-in porch between the kitchen and the pool. And John Madden sat there. The way the sun was hitting the porch, the screen door, you couldn't actually see that there was a door there. So people were walking into that door all day long, and John would just sit there in the corner and wait for that to happen. And he just, I can't do a good John Madden. Go, oh, he just walked into the door. And it was just one of my greatest fun moments to watch a guy like that just become a real person and enjoy watching somebody else have troubles.
Yeah. And see, that's the cool thing about this industry. You're around the guys. Like I remember I shot an interview with the coach of Boston Celtics.
Red Auerbach?
The black guy. Excuse me, I forgot his name.
It's all right.
But so, and what happened was, I remember seeing him at the Pistons game,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought him in to, I guess, lure somebody else in, and they didn't hire him. And so they said, "Well, you're going to do this interview," and I wish I could remember his name. Anyway,
We'll get out our phone.
I said, "Well, that sounds like the Celtics coach." I said, "Well, that can't be him."
Uh-huh.
I get there, sure enough, that's who it was. And we
Right.
interviewed him and his wife, and I was like, well, what's Larry Bird like? And all these guys, they're just regular guys,
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, who you rub elbows with,
Yeah, you get to...
Well,
the fact that I would put on my headphones every week during those Fox shows and hear John Madden and Pat Summerall, guys that when I was younger, I would just idolize.
Yeah.
And oh my God, they're in my ears every week. I get to hear them talk.
Yeah.
And then see them either before or after the game. Although Madden was weird. The first game in San Francisco, I went to get on the elevator to go up to the broadcast booth to bring something, and I saw Madden get on with his stage manager, who was actually one of the Nelson family, Rick Nelson.
Really?
Yeah, but
okay.
he was a cousin. He was Rich Nelson, not Ricky Nelson. But he was, Anyway, he said, "You can't get on the elevator." I said, "Well, there's a lot of space." He said, "No, Coach doesn't like anybody else on the elevator with him." Okay. Again, that's why he took a bus everywhere, and that's the way he was.
So I guess you didn't get a turkey leg at the.
I would get the turducken leg, but after a while he knew who I was, and once he was familiar, I would get on the bus. Matter of fact, one of the guys who drives one of our support trucks for Sunday night was one of his drivers later in his career.
Oh, yeah?
And I still see him. And,
okay.
And he and Joe and Willie were the bus drivers, and then JJ came on. And if John knew who you were, you could come on the bus.
Really? Yeah.
And that was
That's
really
cool. That's cool.
You could just kind of sit there for a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, hash it out, and then then you were led away. But it was really cool to be on that bus occasionally.
And one thing I have said about this career is I can't think of any other career where you could experience so many different things or be in a situation that you never thought you'd be in, and you do so many different things. Like even when I was at TV3, me and John Velty and we did a shoot where we went down to the salt mine.
Oh yeah.
And it was 1,000 feet and 1,500 feet, and we were at 1,500 feet, and this tools that had been there since the 20s. Nothing rusted down there. It was 70 degrees all year round. Now they had to pump air in and out, and we were on this little elevator that was about but a circle about from where you are to me.
Right.
And there was no light on it. And so the guy that went in with us, he just had to turn on his flashlight. Otherwise, we would have gone down
straight without
in the dark. We did. We got a police. We got hired to shoot when City Airport was going to expand.
Oh, okay.
We got hired to shoot that, and we got a police helicopter. And he took us wherever we wanted to go. We landed next to the runway at Metro.
Wow. Then
we did all those shots, and they said, "Okay, well, can you take us over Bella Island? Can you take us over the river?" We flew over the river, and then we were shooting at a Ford facility. So he said, "Can you take us over there?" He let us get some aerial shots and things like that. It's just it's an interesting and fun career.
I almost killed two notable people. Not killed, but one was they were doing a thing for Rosa Parks over at Greenfield or Ford Museum. And she was supposed to come in one door, and I was running a handheld, camera on the other door. And for whatever reason, I just kind of whipped over as she came in the wrong door. And I just missed her. It's like, Oh, great. I just killed Rosa Parks. That would be awesome. And then another time when they were opening up the Ford Museum in Ann Arbor, and I was running audio. And so Gerald Ford, of course, had this penchant for falling all the time. And I had hooked up a lavalier mic, and I was just about ready to go. And he saw somebody in the crowd, and I had just attached the mic, and so the wire was right around his ankles. And he gets up, and said, "Oh no, I'm gonna trip the president." And that was also the time I got to pee next to George Bush.
Well, my Rosa Parks story was, they had a walk down Woodward,
Okay, yeah.
and I was standing on the stage, and I was just kind of watching. I was like audio support or something like that. So I was just standing there. So I went to take a step back to turn around, and this little hand grabbed my elbow and looked. It was Rosa Parks, and I thought if I had knocked her down, oh my goodness.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, we both almost killed her. Yeah, she was tiny.
Yeah.
She was a tiny person, and I could have, whatever. It didn't happen, so she survived me.
So,
I was going to say another. I got the opportunity to work with Bob Costas for quite a while. We were doing the interviews, and I still have his phone number. I'll text him from time to time and say hi. We have similar political views.
Oh, yeah?
So
Okay.
We'll talk about stuff. But when we first started doing the interviews, he came up to me and the other camera guy and the audio and said, "Okay, boys, just want to tell you, I'm the show pony. You guys are the workhorses. As long as we all get along together, this is going to be a great time."
yeah.
And we went from doing 1 or 2 interviews a season to like 15 or 20.
Yeah.
And what a nice, at the end of every season, he would always take us out for a really nice dinner.
Yeah.
And one drink would get him over the edge, which was a lot of fun. 'Cause I remember one time we went out to dinner, and I was driving a town and country van, and he said, "Well, I don't want to call anybody to come get me. I'll just go pop in the back." So, so we get to his hotel, Ritz-Carlton or something. I open up the back of the van, and there's Bob Costas jumps out.
Of all people, yeah. It's interesting. They're everyday guys.
Yeah,
there's some jerks.
There are,
but for the most part, if you're there you to do your job and you're professional, it's not even that you have to be all stiff.
Right.
It's just you be normal, guy.
His makeup person used to yell at us, Bob's, and said, "Bob doesn't get to talk to you today." I said, "You know what? Bob will do what he wants to do. He enjoys talking to us. He's a huge baseball fan."
Yeah.
So that was always a great time and I really enjoyed, and I did, so I've had 2 great sporting conquests of my own. We were waiting for the Minnesota Vikings coach one day at the Appleton, Wisconsin Holiday Inn, who apparently went to sleep and didn't tell anybody. So we were waiting like 4 hours for him, and they had ping pong tables downstairs. So we had the great ping pong tournament, and I beat Bob 2-1.
Okay.
That was number 1, and then number 2. Kirk Gibson, obviously was doing Tigers for a while, and we had some crazy long rain delay one time, and we started playing euchre for a while, and then he said, "Hey, anybody know how to play cribbage?" I said, "Well, I do, and I happen to have a cribbage board with me. Why? I don't know." And I beat him twice.
Yeah.
And he was so mad. He is such a competitive guy. I won't say the words that he was saying to me.
Yeah.
But he was just like, "Oh, you keep getting these cards. What's going on?" And I'm just like, this is awesome. The guy that hit 2 great 9th inning home runs in the World Series, I just beat in cribbage, and he's mad about it.
Yeah.
He did beat me later in the year, but still.
Well, with 2 of my claim to fame, I met Michael McDonald, the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and just real everyday guy. And sometime during the conversation, I said, "Do you think you'll ever play with the Doobie Brothers again?" He said, "Nope, never again." Sure enough, they had the reunion tour.
Of
Who
course.
was there? And then Michael T. Williams.
Okay.
He had just finished a series. He was doing they had a basketball series on HBO.
Okay.
And met him and just talked to him and you know, it was just guys talking.
Yeah.
You know, you don't, you hear this or whatever. And I don't know what to say. It's like, well, no, because you really make them feel uncomfortable.
Right. If you start idolizing them, yeah, just they're humans.
Yeah.
They just make a lot more money than
Yeah,
we do.
yeah, well, there's that.
And they do get a lot of perks,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, once you get them in a one-on-one situation, they're just people.
Yeah. Well, you're like I am. You know, Dave Kavanaugh. He talks about. He said he wanted to retire like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, I was like, you know what? I said the day I retire, I could say, okay, that's a wrap, and then just go. that's what, I would just die on the job.
It might. Well, that might be the best way to go. I don't know. Yeah. Although I do fear, waking up dead in a hotel room. But other than that,
Well, and then depending on where your camera is, you don't want to be on the roof of, San Francisco baseball stadium, because that fall could be kind of serious.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Or maybe that's the way you go. I don't know anymore. It's at this point it doesn't matter all that much. But
Well,
I don't want to
ahead.
stop because I still like doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably slow down once I get my last kid out of college, and I don't have to pay 3 mortgages every month.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I don't. If I worked. Well, actually, what I tell people, I tell my wife, I said, okay, I can be swamped with work.
mm-hmm.
I said, but the one thing I've learned how to do is take time off.
Yep.
So I could be swamped and have something to do every day. When I get ready to say, okay, I want to take a break, then it's like, okay, I take a break.
Yeah.
You learn how to do that because there's also dying on the job from overwork too.
Now, do you like to go away when you're not working?
Yeah, like I've gone on some cruises and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Went to Alaska.
Okay.
I'd like to take a land trip to Aruba. I took a cruise, and it looks like there's so much to do there.
Yeah.
Horseback riding and dune buggies and cliff climbing and all this stuff.
It's just funny sometimes. We've traveled quite a bit outside, but there are times when I just want to go home. I just want to stay at the house.
Well, that's the thing, because that's where all the cool stuff is.
Right.
I tell people like, well, what are you doing? I'm going home.
Yeah.
And like I used to tell people, I said, I was never the type to like go out and hang out with the guys. We did it at TV3, but we were young and
Right.
weren't married and stuff. But I always said that when I get married, I'll go home. And they said, why? I said, well, my wife is there, my family's there, and all my stuff. Because I'm into electronics, so I knew all my cool stereo stuff was there. So, and that's pretty much how it worked out.
Yeah. Although
Uh,
I do admit sometimes I think my wife enjoys that I go out of town from time to time.
I traveled all over the country, north, south, east, and west.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
And I would have to go in the bathroom. I'd be tearing up and stuff. So I got Dave in on this job, and I walked in the Metro Airport and just started tearing up, and I hear Reg, and I went, oh, I had to get it together. But I'm a homebody, it's cool to they fly you out, they pay for your ticket, pay for your food, and then I always enjoyed, when you come back from Metro and you come around that curve when you go to Knife. I love that curve.
Right, I'm home.
It goes like, I'm home.
I'm home, getting close, yeah. Now it's an Uber, and sometimes, it's like, okay, just get me home, please. Hurry.
Yeah.
Hurry, but not too fast.
I tell you what was interesting was I was on a job, and they dropped me off. I was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know anybody in Dallas, and I was on JetBlue. And
lucky you.
Here's the thing. So they left me, didn't know anybody in Dallas, and there was a video camera at the desk. Nobody was there. I got there early.
Yeah.
And then they said there was a plane crash. It was the one when the plane crashed, I think going from Florida to Atlanta.
Okay.
So they said, well, you're going to miss your flight, So you need to get a hotel and, because you're going to miss your flight, your connection to Atlanta. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I was moping around and I was depressed. And then I said, well, I'm just going to get in this line. So I got in the line. They got me a straight flight on United straight from Dallas to Detroit.
Okay.
But they had boarded the plane and was closing the door. And I had to run. So I thought, well, I got to tell Sharon where I am because she didn't know I'm coming in. So I got to a phone and I went, hey, I'm coming on United, this airline, this time when I get there. And she said, wait a minute. JetBlue called her and told her I died on the plane.
Oh, my God.
And so my father saw the plane crash at home. And he went, oh, my God, Reggie died on the plane. Here I am. And so I didn't call anybody because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get home.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm sure it's cool for her that I call it, she has the phone to me. And I had a straight flight. And then, back then they had real food on the plane. So I actually got an extra meal and stuff like that. But,
wow.
But I'm I don't know if I would mind. I think I wouldn't mind traveling as much now. But now, like you said, traveling is so hard to do.
It's just different now.
And so, but I was a homebody. I never wanted to leave.
Similar story. A camera guy from Chicago, got into a fight with his wife, who he eventually divorced. She was actually one of the Honey Bear dance team for the Bears.
Yeah.
So he left the house early, got on an earlier flight to Pittsburgh. Same day, a U.S. Air flight crashed, the one he was supposed to be on. He's sitting in the hotel just getting drunk. And they're, everybody's, oh my God, he's dead. And then, he finally called his wife or somebody and like, why you're alive? How'd that happen?
Yeah.
I took the earlier flight. We got into a fight, but crazy stuff happens.
But yeah, but this career and so, you see it the same way I do. Great career. I always wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to do camera when I was really small. Didn't know how I was going to do it. I thought it was, thought all television was shot in California. So
right, yeah,
but wouldn't change a thing. It's been a fun career. I've met fun people to work with. Met some jerks.
Of course.
But
there's one in every town.
But you guys, I gotta say that you and I didn't talk a lot because I couldn't take the risk of saying something that you think, well, he doesn't know anything. What's he doing here?
What's he? But on the other hand, I was, just slightly ahead of where you were.
So your wet behind the ears wasn't as wet as my wet behind the ears.
I was drying up.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I appreciate you coming. It's been great catching up. It's been a lot of years. Life happens, and you shouldn't let so much time go by, but it does.
It does.
But I appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having me. This was really nice.
If you're interested in coming on the podcast, you can reach out to me. We actually want to have a conversation. It's not even an interview. It's a conversation. You can reach out to me you can email me at emergetv@gmail.com, or if you want to check out the podcast, the conversations, go to YouTube. Type in RCSMG LLC in the search bar to take you to my channel. You'll see this conversation as well as many others. I also post short clips on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. TikTok is #EMERJ TV, or #RCS Media Group, or #conversations. Anyway, appreciate you watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you watch it, like it, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching EMERJ TV. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow along for short clips and exclusive content. Want to be a guest on the show? Reach out to Reginald Smith at emergetv@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time right here on EMERJ TV. This has been an RCS Media Group presentation.